Hello there, everyone. Today we're going to read Boy and the Travelling Cheese by Junior Wonders and Devin Mayer. There was once a boy who thought that if he ate a lot, he would grow big and tall in an instant. He wanted to grow big and tall so he could go on an adventure like the grown-ups. One day, a very large parcel arrived at his doorstep. A letter came with the parcel. Dear grandson, I hear you want to grow big and tall. Perhaps my gift will help. I made it especially for you, using only the freshest milk from my cows. Hope to hear from you soon. Love, Grandpa. He cut the rope, tore off the wrapping paper, and opened the box. Inside was the biggest cheese he had ever seen. The cheese weighed a lot, but it had a perfectly round shape. So he didn't have to worry about lifting it. It would have been impossible anyway. A farmer who saw the giant cheese appeared at his doorstep drooling. Dear boy, do you mind sharing a teeny tiny bit of your giant cheese? The boy gladly cut a little piece for him. When the farmer left, he carefully rolled his cheese and leaned it against the wall. Not long after that, he heard a knock on the door. Outside stood the same farmer with his family. Dear boy, do you mind sharing a teeny tiny bit of your giant cheese with my wife and kids? The boy was surprised, but gladly cut a little piece for each of them. The boy wondered how he was going to store his cheese. It was far too big for the fridge. He was puzzling about it when he heard another knock on the door. Outside stood the entire village, including a reporter from the local news station. Dear boy, do you mind sharing a teeny tiny bit of your giant cheese with us? Asked the reporter. The boy was astonished, but gladly cut a little piece for each of them. When he turned on the television that evening, he saw that his giant cheese had made it to the news. The following morning, the boy and his giant cheese were picked up by a helicopter sent by the president. The helicopter was a bit crowded, but the boy refused to part with his cheese. The president and his cabinet also wanted to try a teeny tiny bit of the boy's giant cheese. The boy gladly cut a little piece for each of them. Soon the boy and his giant cheese became famous. Even celebrities wanted a teeny tiny bit of his giant cheese. After the glitz and glamour of the red carpet event, the boy decided it was time to go home. But he suddenly remembered something. His Uncle Troy, who lived in the middle of the desert, wanted a teeny tiny bit of his giant cheese too. The boy nearly forgot. He rolled his giant cheese over the sand dunes as he crossed the vast, empty desert. And when a sandstorm hit, he wedged himself between his cheese and a rock. He didn't come out until it was safe. When the sandstorm settled, he rolled his cheese as fast as he could under the blistering sun. He didn't stop until he reached his Uncle Troy's tent. The boy headed home once more, this time on a boat. He sat on his cheese out on the deck and gazed at the stars. All of a sudden, the boat got stuck, so the boy had to think of yet another way to get back home with no more delay. The giant cheese came in very handy. But soon a school of fish appeared and started nibbling at it. So he paddled faster and faster, but he became very tired and couldn't go on any farther. Then something strange began to happen. As the fish nibbled faster, the boy got propelled forward faster too, until he finally reached the shore. But nearly all of his cheese was gone. He placed the last morsel of his cheese into his pocket and headed back home. When he reached home, He finally tasted the last teeny tiny bit of his grandpa's giant cheese. Mmm, mmm, mmm. It was the most delicious cheese he had ever tasted. Dear Grandpa, thank you for the giant cheese. It was so yummy. Everybody loved it. I went on a big adventure with my giant cheese. I will tell you all about it when I visit you soon. Love, Boy.